What is up, guys? This is Andrew Trin. Welcome to Influential Brands for Entrepreneurs. I just made a poll this morning of what you guys wanted to talk about or learn more from this group. And some of you may or may not know, but with my business Instagram, I've been able to have a pretty good engaged account, a pretty good following from there, and being able to grow most of my business, honestly, from there. So I just wanted to share with you guys my little knowledge on Instagram. It's a beautiful platform. I think a lot of times people think it's just for cool pictures. It's not a place to do business, but I have done my whole business mainly and primarily through Instagram. I've used a few other platforms as well, including this one, of course. With Instagram, just being able to grow my brand, being able to grow my following, being able to get people converted over from the platform itself, right, on to having conversations in the DMs and to having sales, whether it's something from like e-commerce stuff. If you guys know, I run PhysioRooms.com, which is a store for funny physical therapist swag for physical therapists, just like this one. And also with courses and high ticket offers, anything over like a couple thousand, right? If you guys have Instagram, and if you want me to take a look at it, just kind of do an audit, I'll just go through my few tips of like what you should do before you start posting any more content on Instagram. And I've noticed this a lot on other people's pages when I land on there. Not necessarily any of you guys that are watching, but if you do want me to look at it, just let me know. But before you continue, I'm gonna go over a few things, and honestly, let me see if I can try to do something. Yes, Instagram is a great way. It's just as many users on Instagram. No, there's probably more active users on Instagram than there are on Facebook. They're roughly the same. It just surpassed Facebook like the end of last year of or maybe this time last year, probably the middle of the year or something like that. Regardless, they're both about the same, right? So just kind of depending where your audience is at. If your audience doesn't use it, you may not need to be on there, but just something that just focusing on one platform at a time is okay as well. But if you are looking for Instagram, so if you guys know the fact of Instagram, oops, it's kind of making this a little lightning. We'll see what works here, right? So this is the Instagram page, right? So if you guys know my handle there, physio_memes. So you can see that there are, this is kind of the layout as it looks. So if you, so I'm just kind of point the stuff out and then what we're going to go through today. So number one is just kind of the logo here, the picture. We have like your posts, followers, and stuff here. You have your bio here, and then you have your little link. And then also with your highlights, which are a little bit newer. I know that when Instagram first started, we didn't really have highlights, so it's a cool addition and being able to utilize that. And but yeah, so number one is just a little tip. If you have a business Instagram, like for your business, and you're like, I know a lot of you guys aren't here are going to be business owners or newly started, right? And you have a business name. But yeah, so if you're starting off, this is something I didn't realize, this is a cool tip that I started doing quite a few months ago. But you have the PhysioMemes handle, right? So a lot of times, if you're starting off as a solopreneur and you're starting off and you want to grow your name and know who you are as well, it kind of be a little just more personal. Remember I talked about yesterday, be a lot more personal with your posts, with your contents and stuff. And a lot of times it's this name of a business, right? Whether you're a big business or not, whether you've had just starting off, people just don't know. Business account, they kind of separate the person, the human, the human connections with that. It just seems just a little bit different, right? Just a little more of regard for a business account. So what you can do is, so say this part down here, right, where it has, you can put your name in there. Instead of putting your business name there again, if your business, make your handle your business name, right? So then when you have your name down here, you can put, say Alyssa Arms, you can put Back in Step PT up here, and then you can just put, Dr. Alyssa Arms or Alyssa Arms PT, DPT, whatever you want down there, right? So it just shows that. So when people are trying to look that up of, the type in Back in Step, they can see that, oh, her name's down below as well, because it's kind of redundant. And I didn't really think about that. But it's just a good way to highlight what your like the person who owns the account, especially if you're a person with that. So like at first people didn't know who the hell like PhysioMemes who was behind PhysioMemes. And basically, I put my name through there, so people like start recognizing my name and everything. Just be able to grow my name out as well, instead of being known as the PhysioMemes guy, right? Which is totally okay. But let's say this. Let's say you are just trying to grow your personal brand, a personal account, right? And you have a personal name, right? Let's say like Mustafa, right? Let's say you have your own account. I know you're Forever Able, but let's say this is just your personal name for your handle, right? Instead of being redundant again, right, and having it down here as your name, how about you're putting your title or what you do, or like I don't really call it credentials, right? Because there's a lot of physical therapists in here, so you don't have to put your credentials and all your letters and everything behind there, but your credentials as in like you know, like what do you do for people, right? Are you a business coach? Are you a dance physical therapist or something like that, right? Something special about that, right? So if you are like, if you're doing this back in step, yeah, step, like what does that mean, right? So I kind of know about it, but if I click on there for sure, like, you know, I'm a dance physical therapist, right? Or, you know, something along the lines of rehab specialist or anything like that, right? So you can put that down below. If this is your first, like, if this is your name, like, put your title down below of what you want people to know you as, right? It's because with Instagram bios, you're limited on the words and contents anyways. And if you see down here, right, and I'll get to it in a sec, right? And I'll kind of backtrack what we covered already. You can see that part says hidden more, right? So your bio, like, even though they didn't decrease the limit, but it decreases what you can see, so you have to hit more to be able to see more, right? So you have to be able to capture their attention and know what you do. Sometimes people don't hit the more part, right? And they just get the contents above there. So the thing is, you know, for number one, we went over your name, right? So both your handle and also with your the actual name, right? So those are two different things, and just an opportunity for you to add a little bit more to yourself, and having like your title there, if you're having your name as your handle and doing that with that, right? So he does a good job here, right? So Will Boyd, if you're on here at some point catching the replay, right? Will Boyd DPT, right? So we know that it's there, right? So he goes by Will, right? So his name's already up there, right? So he's done a good job with this. He's a PT, right? And then Healthy Funnel. So he puts the name of his business on there. So like, I honestly didn't look at his account before doing this, but he's already done something like that already, right? So this is freaking awesome, Will. Like, utilize that to kind of highlight, especially with your name. Like, instead of having redundancy with it, like, use that to tell a little bit more about yourself, right? So number one, we went over, right? So quick tips is your name for your handle, and also like your actual name on there. You don't have to make it your first and last name, right? So use that for your title, so you're not as redundant. But if you're and vice versa, if you have your business name, put your name there. If that's what you want to highlight, right? If you have multiple employees, you want to highlight them. Same thing with the title, right? Using the title like, you know, like whatever that may be. Just kind of going back to it, right? So I kind of went over the picture. If you want to have your business name, just put, you know, pretty easy putting your logo there. One thing that if you have a personal page, right, like, with a personal, it doesn't have to be a personal page, like a private page or anything. But if you have like a, you know, like Will Boyd DPT, right? That was an example that I just used. If you guys don't know him, go check him out, follow him. But he has a clean ass picture, right? So you have a clean picture. A lot of people, like, they're putting Instagram like profile pictures, and it's like of their dog, or it's their cool car, or the dog in the car, or the whole family. And some people it's just hard to see, right? So think about this, like, if you have that, like, use your profile picture in your Instagram as your as a logo, essentially, right? So try not to change it up so much. Every once in a while you can change it, like, you know, you're going through phases of life and everything with that, if you change your hair and whatnot. But like, try to keep that as consistent as possible, because when you see your profile picture on Facebook, on Instagram, somewhere else on social media, and you're using the same picture, right? You don't, like, you can, if you want to go to get a photographer and getting a nice professional picture done, but you get most phones nowadays are really, really high quality. Just take a good picture, make sure you have good lighting and everything with it, but use a picture that you don't have to have a suit, you don't have to wear like something fancy outfit or anything like that. Just make it about yourself, right? Make it, make sure the clear picture of your face, because it is your logo, right? Essentially right here for your Instagram, for your profile picture. So it's just something simple. Some people like don't even have their picture. I'm like, who the heck am I talking to? They don't even have like, they have the username, a bunch of letters and numbers, and they don't have anything in their name, and they're like, I just don't know who what person's name, the name of this account is, who this person is. It's just hard to kind of connect with them, right? And then also like, they don't have a good picture of themselves either. It's just either very blurry, it's very dark. So being able to use that on multiple mediums on your website and your Instagram and everything with that, making it some consistent as your logo, right? And if you try to change it in all those mediums, so people, when they bounce on all those, like, it's just a consistent feel with it, right? Because like, you know, a lot of times like it's just easier also when you guys are meeting each other in person, from knowing each other online. It's just easier to point stuff out there, right? You want people to recognize you, like, you know, people talking about recognizing your logo, like, yeah, like starting off, your logo doesn't really matter, which I've talked about before, right? But it's cool when people start to recognize it, right? So like, don't spend a shit ton of time and money on that, but, you know, just be purposeful when you're doing your picture for your profile, right? So those are the two things that I talked about, right? Number one, if you guys anyone's taking notes, writing this down. So number one is, you know, just cleaning up your name for your handle and for your the actual, you know, official name on there. Number two, clean up your profile picture. Number three, if you guys haven't done this yet, like, make your profile public, right? Some of you guys are having personal accounts still, and even worse, like having it private. If you guys are doing this for your business, make sure that you are using a public account, right? Because you can use, even if it's your personal branding, right, with your personal accounts, you wouldn't be able to look at the insights, right? It doesn't really affect you too much as it does on Facebook with using a personal versus a business account. Like, I haven't really noticed a big difference for either one, but you're able to notice the insights. You can see what people likes and comments. And then the big thing now is like the newer ones are like your shares in your saves, right? Sometimes I've had more shares and saves than I do likes and comments combined. So just make sure that like sometimes those are still accountable for it, right? Something before that they didn't keep track of. So just being able to look at your insights, seeing what's popping, what's popular, right? But yeah, so those are the three things. Just make it public, right? So recap. We went over the name, went over the profile picture, and also making it private to public, and also to a business page, right? Number four, right, is your bio. So we talked about having your bio on here, right? But basically, you know, your bio here, having, you know, some people call it UVP, unique value proposition, your $1 million message, your golden message, right? All those are the same things, right? So with your golden message of like calling your audience out, because like, comment below, like I don't even know what the new number is now. I just know we have less attention span than a goldfish. Like, how long do you think the average attention span is for a human being, right? So like, I remember when we were younger, it was like 15 to 20 seconds. At one point, it was like 5 minutes. Like, how long are attention spans now? Like, I know it's in the single digits now. Like, this is, we're less than a goldfish. Like, I think it's like 7 or 8 seconds. Humans have, what, 5 or 6 seconds now? So our attention span is just so little, right? So if you're having small attention spans, you need to be able to capture people right away, right? So especially with the names, if you're having like Little Destruction 91 up here, right? Like, we're not in, now if y'all didn't know, that was one of my old AOL names. I don't know why the hell I created that, right? But like, if you're just having a bunch of letters and numbers and you're changing your account all the time, keep it clean, right? But then you, like even like I said before, right? You have the more part, like, it's not important for what I have on there right now, but like, let's hit more. So you can see kind of below that, right? So I can't remember the exact characters on it, but basically you have like only very minimal anyways. You have like 180, 200 characters total. So when you're using your bio, like, you need to call out your audience right away and how you can help them, right? So a lot of times with your business, like, you're just trying to put all your accolades and doing all this stuff. So a lot of you guys on here are physical therapists, and if you're doing like manual therapy and dry needling and all this stuff, and like all these specific stuff, all your certifications you got, like FAOMPT, ABCDE, whatever, all that, you know, jazz. Like, just call your audience, like, who your audience that you're working with. And if you guys don't know that, you know, you guys can comment and message me, and then we can work on that. But basically, like, calling out like who you help and having that into your bio. And then literally it's just something simple, like after you're like, I help blah, blah, blah with I help your audience, right? With whatever their pain point is, right? To get them back to their goal, right? And without whatever their fears are. So that's just kind of like from this is a very quick rundown with it, right? So if you guys know, we can cover that in another training as well. So number 4, just like calling out your people in your bio, how you can help them, who you work with. And if you work with dancers, you work with gymnasts, if you work with, if you're a business coach, if you are, whatever that may be, right? If you're a dietitian working with a certain niche or anything like that, right? So cleaning up your bio, and like the last thing, it's part of the last thing of your bio, and also like the URL. Since I talked about in the beginning, having the URL at the bottom here. Just literally having a call to action. Sometimes people just don't put call to actions in their bio. And like we talked about before, there's a softer call to action. You don't have to say buy now, book an appointment, pay me $10,000 as consulting fee. Like you don't have to like get into that depth of your call to action. But it could be because something small, like check out more trainings here, or check out my free trainings over here. If you have something on your website, if you have something like a free ebook to download, right? Or video series, or something that people want, like what's the next step, right? So they may or may not download or whatever, take the call to action, but like people need to be led to somewhere, right? And make sure that stays above your, before you hit more, right? Because once you're hitting more, like it's hidden under there, they may never click on that, right? So you can make sure that if you keep it short, the call to action is within that character limit before you have to like kind of scroll down a little bit. So having a call to action, do you guys have call to actions in your bios? Whether it's your bio or honestly, if you have LinkedIn or Facebook, like this is like pretty similar kind of across the board, but like, do you guys tell people to do something, right? Whether it's follow me or whether it's, like for me, like mine says, do you want to be an ambassador? Because right now I'm promoting my ambassador program. So do you want to be an ambassador and join the Physio Memes team? Just DM us. It's just a DM. Like it doesn't have to be buy anything. It doesn't have to go to my website. I do have a link to my website down below. So your call to action can just be a DM. Just start a conversation, right? And you can have a link there where if people happen to click on it, they can click on it, right? So a softer one is DM. It doesn't seem like you're buying or selling or doing anything. Even if you're selling, right? It's just like, well, we're taking a step before we get to the sales process, right? Even though I know you're selling something, I'm telling you to DM me. I will give you more information with that, and we kind of talk about it, going back and forth, voice message. That's one way that I do it, right? So just having a call to action of some sort, right? And it doesn't have to be hard. Again, it can be a soft call to action. One little thing about your website. Does anyone here use Linktree? Comment Linktree yes or Linktree no down below. And or you have no clue what the hell Linktree is, right? It's something I used to use, and I don't use it anymore, and I'm going to tell you why. Does anyone use Linktree? Just comment below. Is Linktree yes or Linktree no? So the reason why I don't use Linktree anymore, so if you guys don't know what it is, Linktree is something that you can use because to have multiple links in your bio. Sometimes you want to promote your podcast, you want to promote your website, you want to promote a different landing page or a newsletter or whatever that may be, right? Or you're an affiliate for something or whatever, like buy this product on Amazon, like whatever it may be, and using Linktree. It's not the worst thing, it's not the end of the world, but if you have a website with Linktree, why I don't use it anymore, because every time you click onto Linktree, it's giving them an SEO bump for their site, right? So it just helps their SEO and not yours, right? And I don't know if anything like how it affects it even further, but like I'm not an SEO guru by any means, but if you have your own website, just create a separate page by itself, and you can hide it from your navigation so they don't have to find it, like your About Us and your contacts, blog and all that stuff. You don't even have to have it shown up there, right? Just have it something separate. It can be hidden from your navigation, and just literally put the exact same links onto your own page. Because every time someone clicks on there, they're boosting your SEO. They're boosting your, if you guys don't know, search engine optimization. Basically, they're boosting your rankings so you can be found a lot easier. And all this stuff, like if you guys are starting off like with your business, like imagine like it needs to be slowly kind of built up, with that, right? So over time, more people click on it, it's gaining more authority, it's gaining more, what's the word, like, it's not like a fake account, right? I'm blanking on the words for that. Using your own website, like mine doesn't even, I'm gonna click on mine, right? So mine is just physicalmirrors.com. I just put /special. You can put backslash, whatever you want, right? So for me, it doesn't have to be looking that clean, right? So you can scroll up. Here's my PhysiMemes store if you want to buy anything from there. My WOMs, if you don't know what that is, for PT business owners. If you want to know what that is, go ahead and click the link. Right, so I have blogs on here. I'm an ambassador program for it. Probably have to clean it up a little bit. It's just, running off maybe some Instagram, whatever that may be. And then, so you guys can't see that, right? I have this. So when I have this on here, some stuff that PhysiMemes has been featured in, there's a little quiz down there. So like my quiz, I think I have it embedded on my site. But if you do that from a different site and you're trying to grab leads or something like that, that is a every time I have someone click on my profile, it's just boosting it up, right? I think I'm on the second page of Google now. So it's been like about 2 years or so, but like I would say that's pretty good from like the competitors so mainly e-com. We're started off with PhysiMemes, so I'm competing a lot with like Etsy and Amazon and eBay and all these bigger accounts, right? So be on second page for right now, like that's awesome when you look at physical therapy stuff, right? But if you have ads and stuff, you can boost it to the first page. But basically, having your link tree, like if you have a site already, if you don't have a site, go ahead and use Linktree until you build one. But if you have a website, like just have a separate page, have it hidden, and put all your links that you want in there. And you can kind of highlight it how I did. I alternated it. You can highlight certain things, make it more personable. Of like click like. Because out of all of them, like there's usually one that you want people to click more than others. You can highlight that a little bit more, making a different color, underlining a little bit, putting emojis and stuff with it. So so that's why I don't use Linktree anymore, right? So I just saw other people doing the same thing. I can't remember where I originally learned it from or saw that. I was like, oh, that's so smart. Like, so I click on the thing and it's just like, and I kind of put /special. So you're like, what the heck is that special? It kind of gets that intriguing. You can put secret, or you can put whatever it is, just something that like entices, or not entice, maybe entice, intrigues, I think that was the word, to people to click on your page, right? This is incredible credibility. Oh, thank you, man. Credibility was the word I was looking for. But yeah, as you know, I have trouble finding words sometimes. So that definitely helps you for a long period of time, for the long term, right? Building your SEO up, staying away from Linktree, and it is a great source from that. If you don't have it, no big deal. It's not gonna like make it or break it, but those little things count, right? So those 5 things I just wanted to go over today. Hopefully that helps, right? Cleaning up your name. If you guys are just now jumping on, appreciate you guys. Go back on the replay, but we went over like your Instagram handle and your actual name, right? And how to actually name that. Whether you're a business or a personal brand account, right? So number 2 is your profile picture we covered. 3, this probably should have been number 1, but making your profile public and also turning it into a business page, right? So if you do a business page, it has to be public anyways. So go ahead and do that. Like that's very, very key to be able to use insights and be able to source that, be able to be found a lot more, to be able to reach more people, right? Cleaning up your bio, which we talked about, calling out your audience, the people that you want to work with. And then number 5 is your call to action. Having some type of call to action. It could be softer, it could be legit if you want to go as hard of like buy now if you want to go with that. But I usually recommend something a little bit like a kind of a bridge between that of like, so that's why I have mine that says DM me. You can have them DM you a specific word if you want, right? Just something little like that, just getting your audience to take action essentially. What's up, Joe? Thank you for jumping on. Yeah, I got you. What word 1 through 4? I just went through that, Gabby. If you jumped on late, you also live with me, so we can talk about it if you want. But go back to the beginning and went through all that. But you guys have any questions for you guys that are jumping on? So I'll talk a little bit more about it, but I just wanted to, like, before I go through all these strategies of what to post, how to post, time of day, Instagram, hashtags and hacks and all this stuff. If you don't have this part set up, you're driving a bunch of traffic to your page. If you are being found, you have these great posts, like you're not gonna have people follow you. You're not gonna have the next step, right? And the whole point of this, there's no point of growing a big account if you don't ever tell people to have a call to action. If you don't ever tell them to do something, to message you, that you're offering something, that you're like, get them to work with you, to buy from you, whatever that may be, right? A lot of people just don't have call to actions, right? So clean your profile up before you do anything, and we'll get to it. Talking more about Instagram strategies, but like you need to start with the foundation before we do anything else. Talking about all this stuff, right? If you were to have Instagram account and been doing this, just change that up a little bit and continue what you're doing, and we'll talk about it more, right? So if you guys have any questions, just let me know down below. If you guys on the replay have questions, just let me know down below. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Appreciate you guys so much. Continue growing your brands. Continue putting yourself out there. We talked about, a lot yesterday with just growing your personality, combining your personality with your content now, whether it's Instagram stories or on your feed. Because the more we can grow our brand, the more we have authority and have credibility, and be able to help more people, right? So the more people that know about you, the more that you can help, right? So my goal here is to help you guys have all of your brands become influential and help a lot more people. And as always, guys, make life humorous.